So ARIA just extends semantic HTML by providing a little bit more context within the page. And as we can see here, I've got the headings, the bulleted list, and image. This is the text that goes with the image. So I'm actually showing it on the page rather than hiding it within the alt text. We have another header, some text here, that Learn More link again, which goes off to Google, the required checkbox, and the My Input text input, Show More, and Submit button. So this page is almost the same as the Semantic HTML page, though I did include a little bit more in this page to provide more context to the screen reader users. So you can see here in the dev tools that I have an image, and the alt text attribute is actually blank because I'm using ARIA labeled by to reference this text, which is down below the image. It's kind of nice to show the text if you can. If I go to make it required checkbox and the input that goes with it, that becomes required when you check on it, we can see that the checkbox is up here. There's really nothing much different from that, from the previous page. And then I have the label for the input and then the input here. And you can see there's a change on the input itself saying ARIA required, which is equals false. When I select the checkbox, I'm going to press the space key, and we watch that input ARIA required, it changes to true. So we can see something is happening there. And I'll show how it works with the screen reader in a little bit. And then the next part is we've got the Show More button and the text that goes with that. So if I tab to the Show More button, I'm going to hit the space key. We can see that there's an ARIA expanded equals true attribute on the button. And then the style to display the text is also been added. So if I go back to that and hit the space key, and we watch the ARIA expanded, now it says false. So that's another thing that helps, where ARIA helps HTML to provide more context to the screen reader user. Then if I go down to the Submit button, we see it's really not any different than the HTML page that we had. The difference is that the alert message now has the role equal alert. And I mentioned ARIA Live before. Role equals alert is the same, pretty much the same as ARIA Live equals assertive. So when the user submits this page, the error message will appear and the screen reader will read the message in it. So it's very immediate and also very helpful for the users to know that the submit button caused this error message to show up because maybe they didn't fill out the required field or something. So I am going to close that and then show how it works with the screen reader.
Okay.
So nothing really different.
Main
here.
landmark list with 3 items bullet apples.
So we're in the bulleted list. I'm just using the down arrow key again. I'll show what the image alt text sounds like.
Bullet tomatoes, out of list graphic, a group of white and pink 5-petal flowers with yellow centers.
So it read the text that is below the image when I put my down arrow key to get to the image. So it's not necessarily reading just that text. It didn't like skip over the image to go to the text. the ARIA labeled by said, of the image said to go read that text. Now, if I hit the down arrow key again, let's see what happens.
A group of white and pink 5-petal flowers with yellow centers.
So it basically just read the same thing. And that's just because it's actual text on the page, and within the image, I told it to also read that text, so it read it twice.
Heading Level 2 ARIA. ARIA extends semantic. Visited link. Learn more here.
So I'm going to start using the tab keys because we're in more of the
ARIA extends. Learn more here. Visited link.
We're in more of the interactive area here. So we can see that the learn more here is currently has focus. And it also read to me that it was a link. If I hit tab again,
Checkbox not checked.
it should have said make it required. It did not. It just said checkbox not checked. So maybe I have something in the HTML that's not quite right. I'm going to press the space key.
Checked.
And it says it's checked like it did with the semantic HTML because that's just part of semantic HTML. And then I'm going to go down to the input, text input.
My input star edit required blank.
So it's not only read the label, but it told me it was required. So I'm going to go do that again.
Checkbox checked. My input star edit required blank.
So it said it was required. So if
checkbox checked.
Uncheck
not checked
that and go back down into the input.
My input edit blank.
So it said that it didn't say it was required this time because I took that attribute off. It also said it was blank, which is helpful because then the user knows that there's no information in it. If I start typing
A, S, D, F, G,
it tells me what letters I typed into it, and that's just part of HTML.
G, F, D, S, A. Show more button collapsed.
So on the show more button, I just tabbed to it and it told me it was collapsed. So that was an additional piece of ARIA added into the HTML. Now, if I hit the space key,
expanded,
it told me it was expanded. So
collapsed, expanded.
And that's all part of those ARIA attributes in HTML. If I hit the down arrow key, I can hear what the text is.
Showing more text here.
Okay. So I'm going to go tab one more time to that submit key, or that submit button.
Submit button.
So it just says it's submit. I'm going to hit enter.
Alert error message goes here. Would be better to use a dialog HTML tag.
Okay, so unlike the semantic HTML, here we actually hear what the error message is or what happened after I hit the submit key or the submit button. I know now as a screen reader user that something didn't quite work out with whatever form I was trying to submit and that an error happened. And now I know that, if we had a better error message here, I would know what I needed to do to fix that error. So that's how ARIA is a little bit different than, or adding ARIA into semantic HTML provides more context for a screen reader user so that they understand the page better. So that is the end of that video.